I think I'm saying this right, but did anyone see I think it's Yuzue, this video yesterday? Because I sure did, and I loved it, like I always do. But anyways, this is our first Mina one, and I don't know if we'll ever have any more Mina, but this one is for all you trans, muscular people. So I think, if I'm correct, because this is before reading it, but I think you are just, hold on. I don't know. I'm stupid, but I think this is. I don't know if you're a girl or a boy, but because it just says trans, so I'm guessing. I don't know actually. Well, anyways, I hope you enjoy. For all you trans listeners, sorry if this isn't your correct gender. Anyways, sorry for rambling. Let's get on. Mina, I just don't think it's right for me to meet your friends yet. I hesitant and denying, fear filling me as the thought of meeting Mina's friends/classmates. What if they think poorly of me, or even you? The pink-haired girl let out a laugh, her whole hands holding onto mine as we stood in front of a small gatehouse that simply belonged to one of her friends. At the moment, Mina had dragged me out from hanging out with her to go to this party with a bunch of UA students. She said it wasn't often that they could throw parties, so she she begged me to stay here and go with her. But even if I was okay with parties, I felt awkward going with her and to a bunch of people I had no clue about. I didn't go to UA, nor did I ever met any of her friends there. Well, not yet. Our relationship wasn't a total secret, no, but it wasn't as open as some would be. I felt almost embarrassed as soon as Mina, what, I can't read, as she was always so perfect and amazing the way she was, while I was trying to get used to my real perfect self. She had so much confidence in me about it, more than I had in myself. And she supported me all the way with everything, which I accepted greatly, but still, I felt weird about seeing some people because not everyone sees me the way that Mina does. Oh, come on, babe. You'll be fine. My friends are just like me. They, they won't even care, I promise. She pleaded, and I smirked a little, trying to have some confidence with comedy in the situation. Just like you, cutie? I don't think anyone can be just like you. You're special. I leaned down and gave her a peck on the lips before looking over to the house, listening to the muffled blasting music. But I don't know. I'm still nervous. I'll hold your hand if you want me to. She smiled at me, and I chuckled a little at her. Seeing her pull me towards her a bit, I knocked into her gently, feeling my nerves calm down a little as I was with her. Fine, I answered back as we both walked towards the front door. Glancing around, I was surprised at the amount of people I could see through the window of the house. As the house itself looked small in size, there was a quite difference between the two, which spiked my interest. Another thing was how the music wasn't so long yet wasn't as long to hear, as it was muffled and almost quiet, with each spike my interest as well, but I didn't focus too much onto it, as I felt Mina tug on my arm gently. You even listening? She asked, and I shook my head at her, an apologizing look spreading on my face. No, sorry, I was lost in thought. I asked if you were ready, silly, she said, and I nodded to her, looking ahead at the door. Within seconds, she pushed the door open, and we instantly walked in to see the sweaty bodies of teenagers swaying and singing their hearts out. It was weird to say at least, but then again, I've never really been to a party before. Keeping my hand locked in Mina's, I just watched her as she began to drag me across the open living room towards what looked to be the kitchen. Reaching to the kitchen, I met with three random guys who were all standing/sitting by one another, looking about whatever. Looking around at them, I noticed that there were boys. Oh my god, they were the boys from a few of the pictures Mina had on her phone. I couldn't remember their names, even if Mina mentioned them multiple times, but I couldn't seem to memorize, but I could memorize their faces. Hey guys, I want you to meet my boyfriend, Yin. She introduced, and within seconds of those words, eyes were all on me now. I gave a simple shy wave as I hated the pressure feeling on me at this moment. I felt like I was up in front of the class, with them staring at me rather awkwardly, as if I just solved a math question that I got wrong 3 times. There was a bit of an awkward silence before the yellow-haired boy with a black stripe through his locks jumped off of the table he had been sitting on and began to walk towards me. A smile was plastered on his face. He outstretched his hand. Oh, as he outstretched his hand. Dude, it's so good to finally meet you, he cheered. And as I grabbed a hold of his hand, giving it a quick shake before seeing the red-haired boy perk up in his seat. Yeah, Mina, I always talk about what? Yeah, Mina always talks about you. So it's nice to finally meet a face to the name. He chuckled, and I let out a bit of a laugh as well, turning over to see Mina giving me a bit of an awkward, embarrassed smile. I knew she was one to talk someone's ears off, so it's no surprise she'll talk about me. Probably would just mention our little dollar store trips or midnight picnic dates. You got that right, though I pictured you to be a bit taller, the last kid said, his black hair draped down with sides of his face firming it almost perfectly. Well, can't always get what you want, I chimed in, earning a few snickers with that comment. All right, Mina clasps her hands, gaining everyone's attention. So, where's Bakugo? Looking at the three, I watched as their faces looked a bit unamused at the name. Clearly this Bakugo guy left a sour taste with them. The redhead was the one to chime in, though, as we all waited for some to answer. Baku bro, was here, sorry. But he said he had something to do, and that was like 30 minutes ago. We don't actually know where he went, the striped guy confirmed. He probably went back to the dorms. It is past 8, so the black-haired boy laughed, causing some of the other guys to laugh as well. I just stood there, a bit confused though, since I didn't know what they meant by past 8. Did this Bakugo guy have some sort of schedule or plans? I was so confused. Turning to look behind me, through the doorway, I noticed a table of beverages sitting almost untouched. A red punch, I hope, bowl sat in the middle of the table, and with red solo cups sitting next to it, along with multiple coolers. Taking that this would be a good opportunity to get some drinks, since Mina and her friends were clearly busy playing detective with this Bakugo. Looking over to her, I tapped her lightly on the shoulder. Seeing her curious face turn towards me, she gave me a soft smile, which always made me feel like I was at home when I saw it. But I looked down at her, a smile forming onto my face as well. I'm gonna go get a drink. Do you want anything? I asked, and she turned her head to glance at the table before looking back and giving me a nod. I'll just get whatever you get, she answered, giving me a quick kiss on the cheek before I gave a nod and understanding and made my way my voyage off to the drinks. Walking straight towards them, I was a bit overwhelmed with the crowd of people surrounding the table. No talking, not talking them into account before. Looking around at them, I knew nobody there, but luckily they didn't notice me. And some of them. As I grabbed 2 red solo cups, I glanced over the punch before getting a little into my cup and tasting it. From what I've heard of, most alcohol would burn your throat, so I had to check it. It's not spiked, if that's what you're thinking. I heard a voice pitch in as I felt the drink not burn my throat, but instead tasted like regular fruit punch. Turning around, I was shocked to find a blue-haired female stranger, just some random student, staring at me. She held her own cup in hands as I could see her eyes scanning me. "Well, aren't you a sight for sore eyes?" she cooed, but instantly I felt uncomfortable. Looking back to the drink, I was about to reach over and grab them quickly, but I was cut off by a certain body making its way in front of me despite the small space. "Oh, come on. Don't just ignore me like that." "Sorry, lady. I have a girlfriend, though," I entirely responded back, giving her a side eye glance. But clearly it didn't work, as the girl just giggled and waved her hand. "Ooh, playing hard to get." "I'm not playing anything. I'm here with my girlfriend, and I'm staying with my girlfriend. Now leave me alone." I could hear her let out a scoff, her foot stomping down as she let out a puff. I could basically hear the jewelry on her shake as well, with her movements, giving all and more reason to not even bother with her. But like any other crazy woman, I had to be bothered by her, especially with what comes next. "Oh, whatever. It's not like you're a real man anyways," she laughed out. Plus, only real men have the real woman. And when I say it took everything in me not to slam this lady onto the table, I tell you, it took everything. Staring at her in pure rage, I crushed the cups in my hand. "I'm sorry. What the hell did you just say?" I asked, angry, and she could hear my tone as her cocky expression suddenly shifted into a fearful one. "Because if I heard you correctly, I have some clarification." Turning towards her fully, I looked down at her as I felt my anger raise. "In order to be what you consider a real man, I need to leave my girlfriend for a slut? Because if that's the case, mark me down as a goddamn pigeon, because my ass ain't flying any from my perfect girlfriend. Got it? She's all I want, and all I'll ever need. And clearly, she's much better than your sleeping around self." Within seconds, I watched as the girl tried to keep up her anger look, but fear was consuming her. With her attempt to stay confident, though, I watched as she took her still filled cup and tossed the contents of it at me, instantly staining my shirt. Growling a little bit, I looked up to see the lady was not there anymore, which was a relief. Well, that was until I realized that everyone had focused more on me and the lady since we were yelling. Feeling the tension and awkwardness in the air, I quickly made sure both cups in my hands were good before turning around, only to be met with a special little someone. Seeing my cute little alien girlfriend standing there in shock and happiness, I gave her an awkward smile as I held out the drinks for her. Fruit juice?" But as she walked forward, she seemed to ignore the cup as she came straight towards me, wrapping her arms around my waist, feeling her curl up into me a little. I smiled down at her, but also trying to make sure I didn't spill the drink on her. Holding them up, I accepted her little hug before she backed off of me and looked me into the eyes, a smile on her face. "Thank you," she said, and I blushed slightly. No need to thank me. I was just protecting what's mine," I said as I leaned down and gave her a kiss on the lips. Our lips filtered together perfectly as she leaned into my chest, slightly, taking a good grip onto me since she was shorter. But within the amazed fire we had for the second there, it went out as she backed away, leaving me almost cold, except I accepted it, knowing I'll get more kisses later from her. I love my handsome boyfriend. She smiled. Oh, she said, and I smiled. I love you too, my beautiful alien girlfriend. There's a bonus, but it's really short. It's, hell yeah, you go, man. Go beat her up. Go, come on, be manly. The wombat trio spoke up, causing me to laugh out a bit. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. This was such a cute little Mina thing for me. I don't know why, but I thought it was cute. So anyways, but it was kind of a reverse comfort, I'm guessing. But anyways, I love you guys all so much. Mwah. Love you, bye. Oh, love you, bye. Love you guys. I love you all so much. Bye, lovelies.